Alcoholism in the hood is an epidemic. It's destroying families, it's destroying children, it's destroying fathers, mothers, grandfathers, grandmothers, our friends. It's destroying us. We got to do something about this. But the choice is yours. You have to decide on your own. Anyway, something to talk about.
He got his ear to the streets to talk about. So when you hear Shayne speak, to talk about. Yeah. There's a new message every week, something to talk about. So when you hear Shayne speak, something to talk about.
Oh yeah, before we get to this episode, I'm gonna need you to like, share, and subscribe. What up, what up, what up, what up? Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. It's your boy Shayne Speaks. Welcome back to another episode of Something to Talk About. Today, I want to speak about something that's super serious. We already know it's super serious everywhere. Today, we're gonna talk about alcoholism. And look, we're not talking about it because it's popular and not because it's controversial, even though it's both of those things. But we're going to talk about it because it's real. And chances are, every single one of us knows someone. We know somebody who's dealing with alcoholism today. You know, it could be anybody. It could be your father. It could be your mom's, your brother, your sister, your spouse, your friend, anybody. It could be you. You know, I dealt with alcoholism for some years. Honestly, I used to get wasted, and it was horrible. For instance, for me, I started off doing drinking a lot of alcohol and getting drunk for fun. I thought it was fun to be belligerent. I thought it was fun to move wacky. That's what they call it now. I thought it was fun to move crazy and what they would call back in the days, they would call it liquid courage. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, when you drink, you have no fear. All your anxieties disappear. All of your worries, all of the trials and tribulations that you're truly going through, the reality that you're facing, it all seems to diminish, at least until you sober up. And then that's when it all comes crashing back down. When people hear the word alcoholism, immediately the first thing they think about is, you know, the old man or the old woman sitting on the park bench, leaned over, sloppy, with the brown paper bag. It's not always like that. You know, we used to call those winos back in the days. That's what we used to call them, winos. But that's not always the case. You know, a lot of times and most times it's a police officer, you know, or a fireman. You know, it could be your pastor, you know, a teacher. You know, there's so many people dealing with alcoholism. I mean, you got businessmen that's making 6 and 7 figures a year, and they're straight alcoholics. You know, you got presidents that move like they alcoholics. They might be alcoholics, right? Honestly, though, sometimes it's moms. You know, sometimes it's the mother who's holding the family down and struggling, and at the same time secretly just falling apart. You know, drinking her sorrows away. Like I said, it can be anybody because anybody can be affected. No one is exempt. We got to support one another when it comes to that. Don't nobody wake up saying they want to be an alcoholic. Don't nobody wake up saying they want to throw their life away and be leaning and drinking and sloppy and, you know, out of their mind because they're under the influence. Listen, I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. I've done a lot. And it's not cute. It's not sexy. It's a problem. It's a problem that many of us are struggling with. You know, I notice, and I'm sure you notice, that when people see others that's struggling with alcohol, a lot of times they say, well, they need to just stop drinking. I've heard that many times, you know. And this is usually from people that don't drink. People that never had a drink. Oh, just stop drinking. And sometimes you hear from people that, I'm not going to call them hypocrites, but, people that used to drink and then they stopped drinking. And now they want to always talk about you drinking too much. You need to stop drinking. Listen, they right. But that's not the way to go about it. People need help. People need support. Like I said, don't nobody wake up wanting to be an alcoholic. Nobody, And quite frankly, if it was really that easy to put the bottle down, to stop drinking, don't you think people would do it? Don't you think those individuals that are getting wasted off of nips, that are destroying their livers, you think they don't know they're destroying their livers? Look, we know what we're doing, but the things that we're going through, it makes us wanna escape, find an escape. And by any means necessary, we're gonna find an escape. And that escape usually becomes alcohol and drugs. But we're speaking about alcohol right now, because alcohol is legal. It is legal to go and buy a bottle of Destroy My Life, because that's what it will do. It will destroy your life. Don't get it twisted. I am not in no means making any excuses for those that are alcoholics, that are drinking their life away. I am not making any excuses for them. I'm simply making a distinction between wanting to do something and feeling like you have to do something in order to escape your reality. Like I said, when I was drinking, I started off drinking because I thought it was fun to get drunk. I thought it was fun. I was having a good time getting drunk. And then later on, I started medicating myself with the drinking. Whenever I was depressed, whenever I was feeling a certain way, if someone passed away that I love, I would go to the drinking, So it went from when it's someone's birthday, drinking to celebrate, to drinking when somebody passes away. Alcohol is powerful. We think we could beat it. We think we could beat the alcohol, but we can. We lose every time. The only way to beat the alcohol is to not do it, to not drink it. That's how you beat the alcoholism. To not do it. Stay away from it. But recovery, when you're in it, now you have to recover from it. I call that being broken, but you have to be restored because you're broken now. And that's fine. People break all the time, but they need to be restored. And what does that mean for the alcoholic, right? That means they have to have some support. They have to get some treatment. The most important thing, though, is to want to stop on your own. You have to admit that you're an alcoholic. That's the first step to accountability, taking accountability for what it is that you're doing to yourself. Because you're doing it to yourself as well as doing it to others. You're doing it to your family. Your family got to see this. Your friends got to see this. They don't want to deal with you. Trust me. They don't want to deal with you when you acting belligerent. They don't. They don't want to deal with you at all when you acting belligerent and you going crazy and you arguing and you spazzing and then you crying and then it's just a flurry of emotions that alcohol brings out. You don't have no control over your emotions. At some point, the decision has to become yours because it's only yours to make. Nobody can make it for you. People can pray for you. People can cry for you. They can beg you, threaten you. People can give you chance after chance after chance. You got friends, you got family, you got people that'll pay your bills. They'll cover for you at work. Ultimately, it's your decision. They can't make it for you. They can't decide that you're tired of living the way you're living. Only you can decide that you're tired. That decision is yours and yours only. I do not believe people wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to become an alcoholic. That's not how it starts. Sometimes it starts with pain. Sometimes it starts with trauma. Sometimes it starts with, like how it started for me, wanting to have fun and thinking that it's cool. Sometimes it starts because, life just hits you hard. It can start from a broken place where you feel broken, and you just do more damage to yourself. Some people just want to break from thinking about things. They just want a break from it. It's just too much. It's unbearable. They feel like it's unbearable. It feels unbearable. When people don't realize that feelings pass, when people don't realize that a feeling is only a feeling, that it passes, but the reality is still there. So you can feel distraught, but if you don't do something about it, then it is what it is. You're just going to be distraught. If you think that drinking some alcohol is going to relieve you of whatever's going on in your life, it's not. It's not. It's going to numb the pain for a second. When that numbness goes away, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to have a headache. You're going to have a hangover. You might throw up a few times. But guess what comes rushing back? Reality. Reality comes rushing back. In all actuality, people aren't chasing alcohol. Even the alcoholics. People are chasing a good time. Maybe it was peace and silence you were chasing. And for a little while, alcohol convinced you it could give you all of that. Until one day you realize that thing that helped you escape your problems has now become one of your biggest problems, one of your biggest ops. Life may have dealt you a bad hand, but just because you live in that bottle today, it don't mean that that's going to become your permanent address. It's not 1748 Hennessy Drive. You may think that's what your address is, but you don't have to live there for the rest of your life. You can move out. You can move out to Sobriety Lane. But this is a serious subject. This is very serious, healing begins when you stop asking and you just start doing. Stop asking why this is happening to me and just start doing. Start taking the initiative. Start thinking to yourself, what am I going to do about this? How am I going to change? When you do that, you're not blaming nobody. That's eliminating blame. And it's creating power. You have to want to put the bottle down. Do you want to put the bottle down? Then put the bottle down. Because if you want to do it, then do it. Because you do everything else you want to do. So if you want to do it, then do it. If you don't want to do it, then it's going to be hard to do it. You're going to keep drinking until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then that's when you put the bottle down. When you're ready to put it down. So are you ready to put the bottle down? Because, see, your family is dependent on that. Your family is dependent on you to put the bottle down. Your friends is dependent on you to put the bottle down. They done moved on. They're not even drinking no more. Most of your friends ain't even drinking no more. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Something to Talk About. It's your boy, Shayne Speaks. Peace.